Again, I don't care how many sleeves it doesn't have. I'm not wearing wool this time of year. Hello, fiber friends. Welcome to the Mayday Part One and its YouTube channel. Today, we are tier ranking Ravelry's top 20 hot right now patterns. So if that sounds like it will be of interest to you, I hope you'll stick around. Hello, fiber friends. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Kristen, and today I have a silly fun video for you. So we are going to hop over to Ravelry and check out the hot right now patterns, and I am going to tier rank all of the top 20 based on vibes. There's really no criteria, just my opinion. So before we get started, I want to be clear that, again, this is just my opinion. It is not a comment on the designers. So, even if I don't like a particular pattern, it has nothing to do with the designer, who I'm sure put lots of very hard work into it. And this is not a comment on the quality of the patterns, because I haven't seen any of them. I haven't bought any of these patterns. This is just based on vibes, looking at the photos on Ravelry. So I'm going to be sharing my screen recording, and we're going to go through the top 20 and tier rank them. Let's start by looking at our tiers. So our S tier is cast on immediately. This is for patterns that I absolutely love. If I had the yarn, I would start them right away. Then we have in the queue. So I like this pattern, not so much that I need to cast it on immediately, but I'm going to put it in my queue. I can see myself knitting this at some point in the future. Gorgeous, but not my style. So lovely pattern, well done, interesting, just not something I would really use, wear, or want to make. Then we have Don't Get the Hype. These patterns are nice. They're fine, but there's nothing that stands out about them. I'm not sure why they're here in the top 20. And last, we have You Do You. And this is for patterns that I personally am completely baffled by, but you do you. You like what you like. Okay. But I don't get them. So those are our tiers. We're going to go through the top 20 patterns. So I have made a couple of changes here. One is that I went down to availability, clicked free, and excluded all of the free patterns. A lot of, you get a new design released, you're going to put it free for a certain period of time to generate some interest. Those patterns are only in the top 20 because they're free, and that's not really a reason. So I've excluded all of those. I have also excluded one pattern that was a mystery knit along, so it's not really a pattern yet. And then the last thing I did was I went ahead and excluded the designs from Olga Putano, because she just released a book, or the book is open for pre-orders. And so a lot of the top 20 patterns were hers, and it just didn't seem as much fun to, basically be doing a book review of a book I don't have. So I went ahead and excluded her as well. And if you're wondering how to do that, you can click on these three dots here, and you can either hide from search results, so for an individual pattern, or you can hide the whole designer. In case you were ever wondering how to do that, you're tired of patterns from the same designer, you can there are other ways to do it, but this is the easiest way. You just click on those dots and say hide everything from that designer. So what we are left with are these 20 patterns, and we're just going to go right in order and tier rank them. So we are starting out with the Tailored Vest by Hinterm Stein. And so what I'm going to do is download a photo from each of these and add it on here. Of course, the tier ranking site is, some free internet stuff, so it's not very fancy. We'll put that there. Okay. So I understand what we're trying to do here. This is trying to look like a vest or a waistcoat that is sewn, usually for men, not necessarily for women. And so I am immediately going to put this in gorgeous, but not my style. This is clearly very well done. It is nice and neat and tailored. I love this little design element here at the back. But personally, I would not wear this. I probably wouldn't wear a tailored, a sewn vest of this style either. I mean, it's even got the cute little fake pockets on the front. That's really cute. And you can tell a lot of work went into this. There are a lot of sizes, so it's extra small to 5XL. But no, this is not my thing at all. But it's a cute concept. I like what she's trying to do. All right, that is the first one. Number 2, we have our first petite knit pattern. So I have this concept for sometime this year. I want to do a video about knitting my first petite knit pattern. I've never knit one. Maybe I'm going to get around to that. So I'm not a petite knit person. I have never knit a petite knit pattern. Let's put this on our tier system here and take a look at the pattern. This is the Scarlet Cardigan by Petite Knit. Looks like a very basic drop shoulder cardigan. Has kind of a little detail at the back, the neckline. I do like kind of the detail along the shoulder. I do like the button band. So it is worked from the top down. Just is kind of a basic cardigan. I like it. It's fine. I don't see anything particularly special about it that is kind of, explaining to me why this is right now in the top 20. It seems sort of just like a basic grandpa V-neck cardigan. So we're going to put that in. Don't get the hype. It's fine. If I were looking for a basic cardigan, that might be an option. All right, number 3, Maple Socks by Green Plant Diva. Let's get our photo here. Liz Harris, published in Green Plant Diva, that is. These are a maple leaf sock. Probably, I want to say, published kind of because yesterday was Canada Day. So this is an older pattern. It's from June 2022. So again, that's probably why it's up here, because yesterday was Canada Day and we like a nice maple leaf sock. Obviously fingering weight yarn, a couple of different sizes. This is cute. I think I would like it more if the maple leaves weren't all interconnected. I don't think they look so mapley when they've got all the lines in between them. And I'm not Canadian. So we are going to put this in gorgeous, but not my style. I'm sure a lot of work went into developing this nice color work pattern, especially in different sizes. It's cute, just not something I personally would wear. All right, next up, we have the Sabai top by Suzanne Muller. This has been around for a while, I want to say. Let's add it here. It adds, all right. This pattern is from May 2024, so it is over a year old. This is a pretty basic, nice, clean tank top, sleeveless top style for summer. Nothing super fancy, but a nice staple piece for your wardrobe, knit in a DK weight yarn, a particular cotton, rayon, and linen. This is cute. I don't know how I feel. It seems to have very unfinished edges. So I like the shaping lines around the armhole. I don't love the way that this ribbing looks, and the sleeve edges seem to be kind of unfinished. It's nice. Nothing about it, super stands out or anything to me. But I do think it's a nice kind of staple piece for summer, and that's probably why it is up here and looking pretty popular. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in gorgeous, but not my style. Again, just a couple of the details aren't really my thing. All right, Number 5, we have the Vanilla Bean Socks by Crazy Sock Lady. This looks to be a very basic pair of socks. Let's see. I do think it's nice to have a basic recipe for socks if you don't want to have to, put a lot of thought into your socks. It's nice to have something that a go-to pattern. It says a sock pattern that is just beyond vanilla socks, and this was just published. What is going on here? It looks kind of like a slip stitch patterning on the foot, or the top of the foot and the leg, slip stitch heel, very basic, nothing fancy here. Written for a cuff down sock. I generally tend to knit my socks from the toe up. And not a ton of sizes here. Small, medium, large, which isn't a ton. I like size. I think socks should be more closely sized, more precisely sized, because you do, generally speaking, want negative ease when you're wearing your socks. So we are going to put this in. Don't get the hype. It's just a basic sock. There are a lot of vanilla sock patterns out there, and especially with so few sizes, that would not be my personal go-to. You could probably figure out that slip stitch patterning on your own. It is relatively cheap. It's a $3 pattern, so I guess if you're a new sock knitter and you need something basic and you like cuff down, that might be a go-to for you. All right, that was the top 5. Moving on, we have the Joplain Shirt by Kadri. This is interesting. This is a very textured yarn, it looks like. I keep doing that. Wait. So let's add that one here. All right, the Joplain Shirt. It is knit in BC Garn Tussa Tweed, which is a 100% Tussa. I believe that's a kind of silk. It says it is a relaxed, oversized, short sleeve top with a drop shoulder design. And a modern boxy silhouette with a subtle twist and a hint of boho charm. This does look like a nice, comfortable t-shirt. I find the yarn choice a little bit weird because you've got obviously this eyelet patterning here, and it is getting a little lost in the sort of tweedy yarn. I think this could be nicer in, it looks like kind of a slubby yarn. I don't think that would be my choice for this, but this is overall a cute piece. I could see myself maybe knitting one of these, again, in a different yarn. Yarn alternative, it says knitting for olive pure silk. I do think that would be a nice choice because the pure silk, it's the same, it's a silk, but it doesn't have that slubby, tweedy texture. Let's see if any of the test knitters. Okay, so this one looks pretty nice. This I could definitely see myself wearing. Just that yarn choice is kind of baffling to me. So we are going to go ahead and put this in the queue. I would knit this. I would not use that yarn, but it does look like a nice piece for summer. Lots of sizes in here. And it looks like a pretty clean construction. Nothing super fancy going on. And with those eyelets, it would be nice and airy as well. So that was the Joplain Shirt by Kadri. Next up, we have the ever-present Renunculus. I've never knit a Renunculus. I know lots of people have. Let's see, there are 29,300 projects. So there are a lot of Renunculi out there. I'm going with that, Renunculi. So the Renunculus is a pattern by Midori Hirose. I have knit another pattern by her, the Snowy Forest, which I love. It's beautiful. And this just seems to be kind of a ubiquitous top 20, top 30 pattern here on Ravelry. It is lovely. It looks comfortable. She's got lots of different sort of iterations of it featured here in different yarns at different gauges. They all look comfortable. So you've got kind of like a woolly version, and then you've got these light and airy versions in lacier yarn. So this really is beautiful. Oh, it's got updated languages. Lots of video tutorials, really very complete pattern, 11 sizes. It's here for a reason. Absolutely beautiful. Just on my style. So, ooh, we forgot to get a photo. Come here, Renunculus. All right, so we're going to put you here in gorgeous, but not my style. Moving on, next we have In the Garden. This is a pattern by Jessica McDonald. Let's get our image here and add it. Come on. Some of the names of these. Okay. All right. So In the Garden by Jessica McDonald. This is obviously a color work short sleeve sweater using Holst Garn Super Soft, which is a light fingering. I know, again, a lot of people think that you can wear fingering weight wool in the summer, and those people, I assume, live in Europe or Canada, but you cannot wear it here. It's not too bad today. It's 82, but it's about 1,000% humidity. Knit seamlessly from the top down. I am not a big fan of a circular yoke. Is this a circular yoke? No, it's a drop shoulder. I mean, probably I could read the description. No, okay, so it's kind of like a drop shoulder deal where you work the back and then pick up for the front yoke. So that's nice. Obviously, you were knitting in the round to do this color work, which is very pretty. And I do like a really kind of understated color work where you basically got a main color and a contrast color. Maybe your contrast color is a little bit variegated to give it some interest, but you're not managing tons and tons of yarns. And it's a very pretty pattern. Looks relatively basic, no super long floats or anything, which is also very nice. Again, not for the summer here, but maybe somewhere, wherever she lives looks lovely and cool. It's probably not Maryland. So this is a recent release. It was just published last month, and it includes lots of sizes. So I have to say this is going to be in my, again, gorgeous but not my style. I do like it. I think it's pretty. It's just not the type of thing that I would really wear in any season. And I struggle with short sleeve wool stuff because it's just such a small amount of time in which I would be willing to wear short sleeves, but also wool. And especially with something as involved as color work, not going to be on my list. All right, next we have the Anacortes Pullover by Michelle Frazetta. This is a nice sort of basic pullover with a textured stitch. It looks like it's got raglan lines, lots of twisted or half twisted rib possibly, some neat shaping lines on the side of the body. Yeah, that's very pretty. Looks like we got long and short sleeve options. So I don't know anything about this designer. I've never heard of her before. I'm just gonna look real quick. Okay, so she lives in the Pacific Northwest. She's got a few patterns here, but I don't know much about her. So this one in particular, the sweater is available in 9 sizes. It is knit in Skyland, a DK weight yarn from Blue Sky Fibers, which is wool, alpaca, and silk. That sounds lovely. And it is a top-down raglan in an all-over broken rib. I do think this is pretty. If I were looking for kind of a basic pullover, I don't know that I love the neckline on this. That is something I would probably alter. Twisted rib looks nice, but I don't like using twisted rib in areas where you actually want the rib to either cinch or not, to either cinch in or at least fit closely. It doesn't do that as well and can end up looking a little loosey-goosey. It looks, I don't know, for some reason it looks better to me in the long sleeve than the short sleeve, but it may be the ease. So the short sleeve you can see is being modeled with a lot less ease than the long sleeve. and I would definitely go for more ease. But overall, I think this is cute. I like this. You can tell a lot of care went into creating the shaping lines and all of that stuff. So I'm going to put this in. Let's put it here first. We're going to put this in the queue. I think I would consider it over there. I would consider knitting this one. I like it for a basic pullover. But as I said, definitely, I think it looks better with more ease. All right, and our next one is the Winnie top by Lily Kate France. I'm telling you guys right now, this is going in cast on immediately because I have already queued this and I love it. I have not cast this on immediately because I don't have the yarn, but if I did, absolutely love this. So this is the Winnie top by Lily Kate France. It is knit in Cardiff Cashmere Classic, which is a DK weight, 100% cashmere yarn. I'm sure I would not use that yarn, mostly because I don't have access to it. But definitely looks like you would want something very soft and drapey DK weight yarn. I love this lace detail. She has another pattern called like the underlace tee or something like that that is similar to this, but this one is a little more understated and I really like this. It's absolutely beautiful. It probably helps if you weigh 5 pounds because it just drapes so beautifully. So delicate lace edgings, knit separately, attached using a 3 needle bind off. I don't love that, but what are you gonna do? We have to suffer for our art. Perfect V-neck, easy track of shaping. I don't think I've done any of her. Or no, what's it called? I am currently, it's on hold, but I have a sweater of hers on the needles. It's called the Calm Down Cardigan. And I do recall her pattern writing style is nice and clear, maybe a little overly verbose, but probably that's helpful for more novice knitters. But she's got tons of sizes here. So it calls for a sport or a light DK weight yarn. So I think it says DK, but I think sport is probably gonna be, if you're not using that Cardiff cashmere, which is a very specific yarn, it looks, based on the stats for that, looks like a sport is maybe going to be a better choice than a DK weight on this. You can see it's already in my queue. Absolutely love this. Love, love, love. So Winnie top goes right to the top in our S tier. Love it. All right, let's move on to the second half. Number 11, the Eva Scarf by Sari Nordland. I think you guys already know that I did that whole video about mini scarves because I just don't get them and I still really don't get them. So let's get our photo here. All right, Eva Scarf. This is just published July 2025. So within the last 2 days, this has been published. This is just a teeny little scarf with a little lace pattern. I don't really have much else to say about it. I've already said I don't really get mini scarves. None of these photos are really showing this lace pattern off very well, which I find kind of odd. It's fine. It says it uses a strand of fingering weight yarn held together with a strand of lace weight yarn. So soft silk mohair and merino, both from Knitting for Olive. I've not used the merino, but the soft silk mohair from Knitting for Olive is one of my favorite floofy yarns. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and put this, as you may have guessed, in don't get the hype. I don't understand the mini scarves. I don't understand doing a lacy scarf, like putting the effort into it and then wrapping it around your neck. You can't really see the lace. The whole thing just escapes me. I'm sure it's lovely. All right, I saw this one on here earlier and I already know where this one is going. This is blouse number 3, or it doesn't even say number, I guess. Blouse 3 by Tina Rousing. As you can see, it is a jacket that looks like a star quilt. And it only has 3 sizes. Let's see if you can, it doesn't, blouses work from the bottom up in garter stitches with squares in different colors. Front and back are worked separately and sewn together, small slit at each side. Sleeves are sewn in, and then a button placket is, I don't know if it's picked up or what. There's not a whole lot of information here. Yeah, I don't, this is going, as you probably could guess, this is going right in you do you. This is baffling to me. I don't think the silhouette is flattering. I don't think the color choices are flattering. This just is, to me, this is very overwhelming. This is not my vibe at all. If this makes you happy, fine. Knit what you love, all good. There are 3 projects on here, but no photos or anything. So yeah, I don't know. That is not my thing at all. But if it makes you happy to knit a quilt, jacket, blouse thing, go for it. All right, next we have the Cali top by Christina Korber Reith. And what can we say about this one? This one, all right, so it looks like there's a plain t-shirt here, and then this one has kind of subtle stripes, and it has just a little bit of a lace or eyelet detail at the bottom. Simple trim all around. Looks like it's originally in German. Is that German? Yeah, that looks like German to me, right? Yeah, English and German. This looks like a nice, kind of t-shirt for summer with a little bit of detailing at the bottom. So the recommended yarn is Lana Grossa Sandless Summerside. Or wait, are they used together? So it's recommending 2 yarns. It does, okay, so I don't think it's being held together. Wait, one's a DK weight and one is a thread? Maybe it is. And Palettes by Lang Yarns. I don't know if they're being held together. Oh, okay, so the Palettes is this, I didn't realize that, is a sequin yarn. So those subtle little stripes are some kind of sequin detail, something. I don't know, that's kind of cute. It looks very comfortable. The cotton silk, lovely for summer. You can see my hair growing as I'm talking. Nothing, outstanding here. I do kind of like that glitter yarn. That's an interesting idea. Give you something a little fancy for summer. So overall, we are going to put this in gorgeous, but not my style. That's fine. I can see how people would like it and find it very comfortable. I'm not particularly enamored of it. I had to do a little adjusting. We had a club kind of pattern thing that we needed to remove from our results. It's too confusing. Next up, we have the Summer Session by Samantha Guerin. This, I believe, is a summer version of her study session, I believe it's called, pullover, which I love. So, is a V-neck tank worked from the top down, and it has this nice eyelet, cable-y. I don't think there are any cables. All right, so it has sort of, this photo's not great, but it's got like a lacy, a little bit of cable-y or twisted stitches at least, detail all along the front. The recommended yarn is Fleece and Flax from Sandra Yarn Co., which is a BFL linen. Again, I don't care how many sleeves it doesn't have. I'm not wearing wool this time of year. However, it might be a nice choice for the transition season. I don't know anything about this yarn. Comes in 9 sizes. Really cute. Looks comfortable. Again, I probably would not choose a 75% wool yarn for this, but The Camellia Fiber Company Flax Fingering is like a cotton linen alpaca that's light on the alpaca, I think. And I think that would be a nice choice for this and make it more of a transition, not a summer, but a transition period choice. So this is cute. What are we doing? So this is definitely cute. I like the study session sweater better, but I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the queue. I definitely could see myself maybe adding that to next spring or early fall's knitting plans. I keep going back and forth and I'm wondering if it's changing the patterns, but I don't think it is, and it shouldn't be. Okay, we are at number 15. This is the Cumulus Tee by Petite Knit. And so we're at our second Petite Knit pattern in our top 20 here. This is worked in a light fingering weight. So Tin Lina or Lina by Sandisgarn. So that makes it a nice summer yarn. That's a cotton rayon linen. And this is your basic white t-shirt. Comfortable, it looks comfy. I don't love that close fitting edging on the sleeves. If I want something to be comfortable for the summer, I don't want it to come in, even on her, and she's so tiny, it looks like it's coming in pretty close. I do like the kind of casual finish on the neckline. I know this has been around for a while, since September 2019, so there are many of these, 5,300 of these. Lots of sizes available, so from extra, extra small all the way up to 5X. So yeah, this just looks like your basic cotton tee. That's fine. It looks comfortable. I'm not a huge fan of raglan shaping personally, although I like it better in a pullover than a cardigan. It's fine. I'm gonna put it in. I don't get the hype. It's just a basic t-shirt. I guess, you know, people are looking for basics. That makes sense. All right, we're on our last 5 with only one more Petite Knit. All right, so this one has been everywhere. This is the Lacy Loops tee by Other Loops. I am pretty sure that like every podcaster, vlogger, etc. is knitting this right now. This is knit in the Knitting for Olive Pure Silk. Is it held double? Because it looks kind of heavy. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, 2 strands Knitting for Olive Pure Silk, or Luxury Silk from Lan de Nord, which is a DK. I like this except for the bottom. I don't like the hem. Everything else about it looks so comfortable and drapey, and I just do not like this bottom hem for whatever reason. It just is not working for me. And I could just leave that out if I wanted to. I could just do the whole thing in like the eyelet pattern. So this comes in 1, 2, 3, 4. It's only 6 sizes, but it's kind of a oversized fit, probably easily adjustable as well. I don't know. It also looks a little heavy to me for the warm weather, but as I said, this has been everywhere. Lots of people are knitting this right now, and I'm going to put this in the queue. I would adjust the bottom. I don't like that hem, but overall, I think this looks like a comfortable, casual beachwear kind of piece that would be nice for summer. Next up, we have the Tosta Tee by Rebecca Clow. Now, Rebecca, as I recall, her patterns have lots of options, like sizes and or gauge, weight, sleeves, no sleeves, things like that. So let's see what's going on with this one. It's a perfect basic raglan t-shirt, can be used as a canvas for all of your creative ideas. So it includes 2 gauges, DK and fingering weight yarn. It says the pattern now includes instructions for both DK and fingering weight sweater, long and short sleeves, and bust shaping. So she's got a lot of, wow, she's got a lot in here. There's a lot going on with this pattern. It's clearly very well done. taking into account lots of different measurements, different gauges you might be working at, whether you want short sleeves or long sleeves. You know, it's just a kind of a basic t-shirt, but that means it's very flexible. You can do a lot with it. You can make it striped. You can add these eyelet stripes that she has. You have a lot of room to play, and this looks like it's going to be very well fitting because she has so many options. So did I download the photo? So where I am going to put this is gorgeous, but not my style. It looks very well done. If you're looking for a basic t-shirt, you know, and you've got lots of choices, I think based on the information here, this might be a good choice for you because it is so flexible. It has so many different options, and it's going to give you a really good fit. If you like raglan kind of t-shirts, going to be a good choice. All right, next up we have our last petite knit pattern, which is the ivy top. Let's save our photo here. All right, what can we learn about this? This is sort of a basic sleeveless top with a little bit of a funnel neck and some interesting shaping at the shoulder. Other than that, it is very simple, basic, straightforward. This is very close fitting on her, and obviously you can choose to have more or less ease. But if you want a close fitting top and you're a person with larger boobs, this is probably not going to work for you. You're not going to have the same fit. You're going to have to get a lot more ease, and then it's not going to have this kind of cute classic fit. Worked from the top down. Does it say anything about bust? Anything about bust darts or anything? Like bust darts would really help this out. It's supposed to have negative ease, but yeah, if you have like, she's clearly just a very petite person. Obviously, it's her name is petite knit. If you have boobs, I don't see how they're going to fit in this thing, but it is cute. I like that little funnel neck. I like the shoulder construction. What are we? The yarn here is Trio 2 by Isayer, which is a linen cotton tencel sport, so nice for summer, or possibly pure silk by Knitting for Olive. So definitely a summery top. You are holding the yarn double, which I don't love. Again, for summer, I just think it's a little too heavy, but there are 164 of these projects. Not really, and you can see these as well. Like, they look good on the women who really don't have large breasts, and for the women who are more well endowed, they're having to knit a larger size, and it's not having that kind of close fit that's sort of the aesthetic here in her photos. But it is what it is. That's sometimes it's an aesthetic. So I am going to put this in the queue. I would wear this. I think it would be a fun knit. I think if you wanted that close fit like is shown in the photos, you would have to put bust darts if you've got probably more than a B cup, or be happy with having something that has more ease. It's cute. It's nothing fancy, but it is cute. All right, we got two more. We have the Saltholmen, I don't know. What language is this? Swedish. Okay, I don't know. Shawl. It says Saltholmen shawl got its name from the place where the boats depart to the southern islands of the Gothenburg archipelago in Sweden. I have absolutely no idea how to pronounce that. But I can't really say much because I name a lot of my patterns in Spanish. I do try to give you, when they have the little option on Ravelry that tells you how to pronounce it, if it looks like it might be tricky, I do try to tell you how to pronounce it. All right, so this is a Looks like a textured crescent-shaped shawl. Cute. She's got lots of samples in different colors. The suggested yarn is Jensen yarn from Isayer, which is a DK weight. I do like a chunkier shawl. Overall, I mean, it's fine. I personally don't like this kind of stuff, like that it's kind of like a sampler where like each section is a different, and that's not my vibe. I don't like it in sweaters, and I don't really love it here. But if you were looking for a heavier shawl, because I do like a heavier shawl, and you are a textury person, I think this could be a good choice for you. I just am not, I really haven't been in the shawl mood lately. So I'm going to put this in. Gorgeous, but not my style. You know, and I'm definitely not thinking about knitting shawls in July either, because I'm not going to be wrapping up in them anytime soon. But it looks like a fun, it's probably fun to knit pattern. Will hold your attention. Make a nice cozy shawl for when the fall comes. All right, and we are on our last pattern. Number 20, Stromboli. You can see I have already given this a heart, and it is already in my queue. So I think you know where this one is going. I love this one. I don't think I've ever knit anything by Caitlin Hunter, but I really like this one. So Stromboli is knit in Mayak Koopa Baby Yak Organic Cotton, which is a yak cotton blend. It is a fingering weight yarn. So you might want to use probably not that specific blend. The Mayak yarns I think are a little pricey, but she does suggest blending this with a cotton or linen. And you know, the Knitting for Olive Cotton Merino is very reasonably priced, and that's going to get you that slightly lighter yarn, not 100% wool. This one, it's really cute. I like it in this yarn. The yarn looks slightly textured, a little bit heathered. Overall, I don't know why this one speaks to me. There's nothing like super fancy about it. Just some kind of basic twist left, twist cables, and a pretty kind of fishtail lace panel down the front. But I just like the shape. I like the drape of it. I like the 3/4 length sleeves, the wider neckline. Overall, love this one. This is already in my queue. And definitely, if I had the yarn for this, which I do not, why do I keep clicking on that ad? This would be on my needles already. So we're going to put that one in cast on immediately. All right, so there you have it. We have tier ranked the top 20 hot right now patterns on Ravelry as of July 2nd, 2025. We've got 2 in cast on immediately, 5 in the queue, 8 in gorgeous but not my style, 4 in don't get the hype, and just the 1 in you do you. Now, as you may know, the Ravelry hot right now patterns can change very rapidly. So most of these are probably still in the hot right now, but just in case, I'm going to go ahead and put a bundle, and I will link that in the description box down below so that you can find these patterns more easily. I thought this was a fun little experiment. I didn't have to add too many patterns to my queue, but I definitely have a few more that are going to pop in there. Again, don't forget, this is all just in good fun. It is not a commentary on the designs or the people who like them or the designers or any of that. It's just, you know, my opinion, the vibes I get from these patterns just looking at the pictures on Ravelry. A fun, silly video for what is a holiday weekend here in the US. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. If you enjoyed it or found it entertaining, I hope you will give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. New knitting videos here every Saturday. If you're looking for me on social media, you can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Media Peruana, and I will see you soon in another video.